topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the host and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Welcome to the Camping Show. This is CW Getz.
And Jesse Free.
It's Wednesday, March 17th, 2021, and St. Patrick's Day here in the United States. So we have a really rainy 40 degree day here, Fahrenheit, in the United States. It's kind of yucky outside, so I'm glad we're inside doing this today. So
really nasty, very chilly.
Absolutely. Well, you get that in the springtime. It's kind of typical, right? So
Illinois.
Welcome. Yeah, I was just going to say, welcome to Illinois. That's right.
Right.
We have that on the signs when you enter the state line.
Right.
Welcome to Illinois, the land of crooked governors and crappy weather. So I want to mention the camp kitchen contest once again. This is for the most elaborate camp kitchen. And I might add that don't think that just because your kitchen might not look like those pictures that were posted on Instagram and Facebook. Don't worry about that. Those were just examples. So that's not what you're competing against. So send what you got.
Show us what you're working with.
Absolutely. And you can submit, we just said 5 photos. If you submit more, that's fine. But we just didn't want to get like 50, at one tent or one campsite. So, but you can send those to CWGOETZ outdoors@yahoo.com. Again, it's CWGOETZ outdoors@yahoo.com. Winner receives 2 free CW Gets Outdoors t-shirts, and the winner will be announced on the March 24th episode of the Camping Show, which, if I'm correct, is next week. Is that right,
It's
Jess?
already next week. So Get us those pictures. We want to see them.
Absolutely. So, we've got a great show for you this evening. Tonight's episode is Walk Across America with our special guests, Matt Grooms and Grace Nesseth. So, Jesse, tell us a little bit about Matt and Grace, if you would, please.
Yeah. Well, on October 2nd, 2020, 24-year-old Grace Nesseth from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and 26-year-old Matt Grooms from Boise, Idaho, departed from California, destined for South Carolina, to begin a 2,700-mile marathon they refer to as Walk Across America. The couple's mission is to raise money and awareness for the nonprofit organization Time in a Bottle. On March 10th, Matt and Grace had just crossed the border into their 8th state, Mississippi, having raised a total of $36,000 this far.
That is amazing.
Pretty awesome.
Well, with that, welcome to the show, Matt and Grace.
Hello.
Hey, hello. Thanks for having us.
How are you doing?
Good.
How's it going?
Good. We've got a tornado warnings over here, so we're just kind of waiting to make sure nothing happens with that.
We're just going to mention that. Yeah. So if you go flying away, we know what's going on. Yeah, and hopefully land
Or
safe.
if you hear super loud noise, it's because the tornado is right across the street.
Oh my gosh. Well, we wish you guys luck. At least making it through all this crazy.
No Wizard of Oz here today.
Right.
Right. And let's put Kirk's message back up there. I just saw that. He said, here, Kirk, is it Whipper Voyage Center? It says, Tim, hello. It's your new friends from it's James. I'm going to say James Bay Frontier. Timmons now on with the show. You got this. So, thanks for checking in. So first question, the obvious question is, how did the idea of Walk Across America actually come about?
Yeah, I really just read a book. It was called To Shake the Sleeping Self by Jedediah Jenkins. And the first couple of chapters, he talked about how his parents were one of the first people to document their travels across the United States. And Grace was still sleeping, but I was like, wow, that's a great idea. And I brought it up to her in the morning on my way out the door.
At like 7 a.m.
And when I got home, she had this whole notepad filled out with the reason we'd be doing it and what we're gonna do, and here we are in Mississippi.
Yeah.
That's incredible. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think I would have thought that was like a dream if somebody woke me up at 7 a.m. and said something like that to me.
Yeah, I wasn't so sure. I was like, can I think about it a little bit?
Yeah.
That is really cool.
Very
What was
cool.
the name of that book again?
It was called To Shake the Sleeping Self.
Okay.
And Jedediah actually bicycled from Oregon down to South America, but it was the story about his parents walking across the United States that kind of inspired me
Kind of
and
resonated.
us to do it. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. So you guys started this marathon that you're on in October of 2020. You guys started in California.
Yep, we started from Huntington Beach.
Huntington Beach. Okay. Was there like a ceremonial send-off? Did you guys do a big thing when you started?
Our parents came down.
Yeah,
we
had some friends, our parents, and I mean, really, the only ceremony was so our cart is named Timmy. We named our cart Timmy. He holds all of our stuff, but really, the only ceremony was making sure our feet touch the water and Timmy's wheels touch the water. So then, when we finish,
And little Foxy.
and little Foxy. Which little Foxy? You want to show little Foxy?
She's
Little
sitting right
Foxy.
here.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, so cute.
Oh, cool.
She rides on top of the cart most times, so
Yeah.
she doesn't do any walking.
But it was pretty funny because everyone was there to, send us off, and we put our wheels and everything into the water, and we turned around to go walk to the path we're going to take, but it took us like 20 minutes to push the cart out through the sand onto the so everyone was like,
Hold
bye,
on, just
and then
one
we all
second.
just walked together.
That's hilarious. I love that though.
That's
Too
very cool.
fun.
Now, was there any liquor involved? When you always have to ask these things, when you send it off, and we're doing a little.
No, there
Cabo
was the day before, and I wish we wouldn't have because it made the first day a little bit rough.
Yeah, and it was pretty hot too. I mean, even though it was October, it was still 95 degrees outside, and yeah, we were a little bit beat down. I don't think I drank as much as you.
No, I had a little bit too much
And then
fun with my
Grace was
parents.
also really hungry, but
Yeah, I don't do well when I'm hangry.
Oh wow! What are you saying? She's a heavy drinker there, or what?
No. I know how to have a good time. Okay.
There you
Right,
go.
right. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, that's too funny.
Especially something of this proportion. I would probably do the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. And our friend Tunis just checked in. How you doing, Tunis? Just want to say hi. Tell us about the charity organization, Time in a Bottle.
Yeah, so Time in a Bottle is actually a nonprofit that my mom started, and they clean homes for children battling life-threatening illnesses for free. So each family gets 5 free cleans, and they get to choose those based on when they're coming back from chemo or different times like that, when having their house clean and free of any toxins would be the best time for them and their family.
Wow.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's
And so we're trying to
incredible.
spread it. Yeah.
Yeah, those are some things that people don't really think about necessarily off the bat that one might need when they're so busy with caring for somebody they love.
Yeah.
Wow.
More important than you would realize. And especially, I mean, you already don't know how much time you have with someone. And so the last thing you should have to do is worry about making sure that your house is sanitary. So if someone can provide it for you, then.
Right.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. When did she
Very
start
cool.
that? When did she start that organization, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh gosh, I should know the year. That's 2000.
Hey, I threw that. That was a
You
trick
threw that
question,
at
and
me.
I apologize.
I want to say it's been 10 years, or at least it was 10 years since they've started their carnival fundraiser. So it's been around
wow.
for 10 years at least.
That's quite a while. That's
It's a
that's very
501c3 nonprofit, so it's registered and all that.
Very
What
cool.
inspired her? Do you know what inspired her to get
Yeah,
started?
so my brother actually had cancer when he was 11, and he's all right now. But she had started cleaning homes on the side so that she could go to his appointments and then also make money. And then once he got better, she had all these clients. So she kept with her cleaning company, but she wanted to find a way to give back to everyone who had helped our family in the community. And so she started Time in a Bottle because she realized how important that really was.
That's very cool.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome.
Impressive.
Very cool. So, how many miles do you guys average each day? Is there an approximate?
We're on the overall trip, we're averaging about 18 miles per day. But lately, I mean, it really depends where we plan on camping, which sometimes we don't even know, or if we have a spot to stay. The last couple days, we've been doing over 20 each day, but in between 15 and 25 is usually what we do.
So
Okay.
wide range of miles.
Yeah.
How the hell do you do that? That's what I want to know.
Your body gets pretty used to it. You'd be surprised. Like 10 is now the new 5. It's pretty easy.
Yeah. 10's pretty, yeah.
You know, I can't even imagine. I'm probably going to get to that question down here, but I would just think that's just an amazing amount of distance to travel. I mean, every day.
Day after day, sustaining that amount of travel.
You guys-
I would think my feet would be killing me.
Look at these.
Here's an awesome picture.
Oh, nice.
I mean, I can only imagine. I wouldn't wake up on time the next morning after like the first couple of days of doing that. I'd be like dead. No, not today. We'll just check in with you tomorrow because
I think it helps having both of us to hold each other, not even accountable, but just to keep each other going. It'd be harder if it was just me or if it was just Grace. And then also with both of our dogs too, that makes it easier. And
we sold everything, so there's not really anything to go back to. So it's just like you might as well get up and walk.
Yeah.
Right.
I love that. Hey, do you ever have the time when the dogs are going, "Hey, come on, give it up. Come on, guys, let's go," and you're going, nah, another hour, man.
There has been some time.
Nemo, our dog that we actually found her on our trip in the Sitgreaves National Forest in Arizona outside our tent, but she likes her off days, but she gets a little restless. She's ready to go again.
After about a day, she starts getting a little bit of a troublemaker.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So, with that kind of an average each day and walking every day, do you guys try to set that daily goal? Because you have some places in mind to get to, right? So,
at first, we didn't really. I mean, now we've set May 1st as our end date, so we have to kind of keep that in mind a little bit, but.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends. And it's been so cool the way it's happened. I mean, we've stayed in so many areas, wineries, barns, churches, warehouses, on the side of the railroad track, under the bridge.
Cool.
That's kind of the main thing with planning our day. And sometimes it is planned and sometimes it isn't. But if for instance, we know we can have a spot to sleep at 26 miles, we might go 26 miles.
Right.
It just really depends.
Yeah, that could be a motivating factor.
Yeah.
And throw the weather in. Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh, these are some cool pictures she's throwing up with the tent, getting the tent ready. Do you guys remember where that picture's from?
It was actually my brother the one who was the reason Time in a Bottle started. He walked with us from Albuquerque to Amarillo, and he took those pictures, and that was in New Mexico.
That was in New Mexico.
But that was some stealth camping spot off the I-40.
Very cool.
So we hopped the fence and just.
Let's see that picture again, Roxy. You can put that back up there. Because I was just going to ask you if you guys were tent camping or if you utilize hotels or, people do
Pretty
they invite
good
your
mixture.
homes. Yeah, so it's a little bit of everything. So tell me, and what kind? This is a 2-person tent, right?
Yeah, it's the Nemo Hornet, 2-person.
Now, do the dogs sleep in there with you, or do you?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. That gets pretty cozy, I'm sure.
Yeah, it does get pretty cozy.
Yeah, and we actually named the dog that's Nemo. We named her off of our tent because she tripped on our tent in the morning. So it's not finding Nemo from the fish. It's because of our tent.
Yeah.
Which could be a common mistake. People think finding Nemo, but
kind of work, I guess.
Right. Oh, that's hilarious.
So
Very cool.
You guys then you're in tents, you're in hotels, you're in people's homes, bridges.
Did you say wineries?
Barns, wineries.
I thought I caught that.
Yeah. We got to even try like from the barrels and stuff and try the wine straight from it. That was cool.
We've
got to meet a lot of awesome people.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. How do you set that up? I mean, you say, well, do you know we're going to sleep each night, or do you plan those things?
Not normally. Like tomorrow. I mean, it's been really nice with social media. So once we had our TikTok blow up to now we have 300,000 followers on there, and that's really
holy cow.
And we don't get TikTok.
We don't understand it.
It's helped us in the sense of it's helped us get in a few newspapers, get on the news, and stuff really spreads on Facebook, especially down here in the South. We've noticed Arkansas. And Mississippi, it's been a lot on Facebook, and people just connect with us and be like, "Hey, I've got a spot here.
And
hey,
then
I've
one
got a spot
person knows
there.
another person.
And sometimes we even miss messages. It's like we wake up in the morning, we start walking, we meet a bunch of people, and it usually works itself out. We don't like to plan too much.
Because when it first kind of went crazy and people were helping us so much, that was really awesome. But then we found ourselves feeling like we had to say yes to so many things, and we were kind of losing the freedom of just doing whatever we wanted as we walked. So we kind of toned that back a little bit.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But it's nice to have options.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, we get to meet so many friends. Like we have friends all over the place. It's so fun.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't be surprised if I see you on the CBS Evening News one of these nights, and that
could that'd be cool. Yeah, I don't know.
we just kind of go with the flow and let whatever happens.
Yeah,
we're just walking. We're trying to get from point A to point B. So
that's our friend Thomas. He walked across
from the East Coast to the West Coast, and he helped us out with a bunch of our planning and stuff. So.
Yeah, he's the reason we chose our cart and everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot that goes into that prior to just going and setting out on the road. So you have slept in people's homes and everything also.
Mm-hmm.
How is that when you approach their house, or what is that?
Well, we haven't approached anywhere and asked if we could stay there. Oh, the rain's starting.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't approached and asked, but we've had people let us know. And so we just show up. But the nice thing about everyone watching us on social media is that we all kind of feel like we're friends because they already know everything about us. And so it just kind of kicks right up, and it's been fun.
Yeah. And we haven't had we've had a lot of people like, hey, are you scared about just staying in someone random's house? And we've really ran into no problems, and we kind of have just like I don't know, we kind of gauge every situation. There's been some people who were like, no.
Yeah.
I mean, there has been certain instances. But for the most part, someone's like, hey, it's not much, but I've got a shed. And we're like, awesome. Shed? That sounds great.
Yeah.
Roof over our heads. We love it. So,
yeah.
Very cool. So now that you guys have a roof over your heads, or you find somewhere typically to stay, even if it is like what you said, under a bridge sometimes, or wherever the adventure might take you. What about food? Getting food and getting the supplies that you need along the way. What's that look like?
When we first started, that was a lot harder. Like through the desert and stuff, our resources weren't as much. There was actually a 80-mile stretch where we had gone previously, and we buried water and food every 10 miles, 15 miles?
10 to 15 miles.
So that we would have those resources, because we don't have a support vehicle or anything. It's just us. So for that situation, we had planned ahead. And then there were times where we just ate ramen. And at the first part of it all, we lost a lot of weight, but now we've been gaining weight because there's too many.
Southern hospitality, we've been eating 5 or 6 meals a day. I mean, there's food nonstop.
Yeah. Since we've been in Iuka, we've just had food delivered to us. Fantastic.
That's funny. Who would ever think you could walk across America and gain weight?
Not me. I don't know what's going on.
Well, you probably burn that up, I imagine,
Yeah, when else can you do it?
Yeah, right.
Real quick before you pop in there, Jess, because I know we got a commercial coming up here. You ever bury those? You said you bury food, not just the food, or not food, but just water. Do you ever
food and water?
Oh, you buried both. Okay. Do you ever forget where you buried them?
Yes.
One spot we did.
That's bizarre.
And looking back at it, it was a spot that we were kind of bickering at one another. Not bad. Like, we don't really fight, but it was. We were arguing about, not arguing. But
I think I was hungry.
Yeah.
That'll do it,
we
man.
weren't on the same page. So we missed one spot, and thankfully we had two. We had Bern and a guy named, I believe, Nick or Nate stop by and give us water. We didn't know them. They just said, hey, I'm a big manifester. So one day we're in the desert, and it was super hot outside, and I was like, a cold beverage would be nice. And Grace was like, don't even talk about it.
I was getting mad.
10 minutes later, Vern drove by, had 2 cold Gatorades and cold water for us.
It was amazing. I was like, I don't know if I like this or if I'm mad that you're so good at manifesting.
Yeah, right.
Right.
But yes, we did lose a spot, and Coyotes got into 2 other spots, but the water was still good.
I was going to ask
tortilla chips in a spot, and that was a bad idea.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you got to think, sure, of course, animals might find it right before you guys get to it.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Well, that's cool. Well, we're going to take a short commercial break right now, but don't go away. We'll be right back with more of The Camping Show on W4CY Radio and Talk 4 TV.
time to go camping. Introducing Campground View's virtual tours. You can tour the campground, see the sites, see if they are available, and click to book your perfect spot. Hit the open road and explore the amazing places found in nature. We make it easy to discover, find, and book your site so that you can go have the fun and freedom you seek. Campground View's virtual tours make it easy and simple for you to see where you are going.
And we're back with our guests, Matt Grooms and Grace Nesseth on The Camping Show. So,
Howdy.
Welcome back.
yeah, you know, in light of what you got going on down there, the weather that you're having there, what happens when you are out on the road and you encounter adverse weather conditions? What do you do? I know it's different from just a rain to a tornado, but
yeah. So
do you have plans?
The tornado in this weather, it was kind of predictable. So we kind of had the choice of, well, we didn't have a choice. We couldn't make it to our next sheltered spot, so we decided to stick around here for a few days.
Sure.
We've only been caught in rain or snow a couple times, and it wasn't terrible. I mean, we got soaked, but it's just throw on your rain gear, which our rain gear didn't work out great for us.
No.
I mean, we got drenched, but
luckily we were on the I-40 that day, and luckily there was a rest area like 5 miles.
No, it started pouring rain. We had 2 miles to get to a rest area, which was nice.
And then we got there and they had like pavilions and stuff. So we all just took that was my brother was there. So we just took our wet clothes off and laid them all out. And we just sat there and waited it out.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, it's funny that way, because I would think if there's a manufacturer of rain gear out there listening, they could really make some points sending you guys some free rain gear.
We get pretty wet.
Hey, we stay dry this time because there's a great rain gear. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. That would be great. They should take advantage of that. Where are the green people at?
Well, let me ask you this though. When you get so you get the rain pouring down, you get the wind. Let's go back to the mileage thing. You probably don't make as good a mileage. I know that sounds like a car thing, but you probably don't get as far that way, do you?
Well,
sometimes we go farther.
Yeah, we've done actually a couple weeks ago, coming from Beebe, Arkansas to Searcy. I think we did 20 something in the rain.
Wow.
And it's hardest on our little teacup Yorkie, because we have a chest pouch. Sometimes when it's colder, she'll sit in, but she keeps her head out and she just gets drenched. Is shaking the whole time. But
everyone else, it's fine. Nemo loves it.
I mean, we just kind of go.
You got to get to the next spot, so you don't really have a lot of options. It's either especially where I've been walking lately, when it rains, it's not like you could go and set up your camp and sit in your tent, because everywhere has been flooded super bad. So you can't even set up your tent. You got to just walk.
That's a good point.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It might get you there faster trying to get to that next destination. Like, come on.
Sometimes we do walk quicker. Yeah.
Right.
Motivation. Yeah.
Oh
my gosh.
Oh, wow. So, okay, thinking of like rain and adverse conditions and whatnot, what happens if somebody gets sick? I hate to, I'm knocking on wood. I don't want to jinx you, but I mean, what would that kind of look like? Hopefully people will just come to your rescue and.
We haven't yet. I mean, when we first started, there was a time where I kind of felt a little bit down. And so we luckily were at a hotel and we just took a day off, but we've been pretty good at kind of reading our bodies and knowing, when we need to take a break.
Yeah, and now, I mean, I think that would have been an issue, like in New Mexico with COVID and everything. There's a lot of stuff shut down, and we really didn't have a lot of people interaction for like almost a month going through New Mexico. But now there's a town every 10 or 15 miles, and also again with social media, we could call someone up and someone would be there to help us out if we really needed to.
Oh, that's
who knows? You could have a doctor show up. You might just have exactly what you need.
So, thankfully, we haven't had to. We've been pretty blessed not to deal with that issue or injuries or anything. But we would figure it out if something happened.
Right.
We always talk, like if someone broke their leg or something, we talk about how we would make sure we can still walk. Like one of us would be on a scooter or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting at. So you do have kind of a plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've talked about it.
Yeah, the trip does not stop. Okay.
No.
Very cool.
That's what I was
Oh,
wondering.
there's some great pictures of you guys being posted.
That's a great picture. See, now I would have had that one for my promo. That's like perfect, man.
That's
I love that.
great. That is great.
You know, talking about that sort of thing, you know, you can just take a day off. I mean, you're not really on a hard press schedule, are you?
Well, now because we had so much interest in people wanting to see us at the end that we kind of, and setting up a venue and stuff like that, that we did have to put an end date for May 1st. But we made it so that averaging our 18 miles a day, we'd still have 2 days a week we could take off. So like this happens,
nice.
okay, we're not too far set back. And again, the previous days we've been walking 20 plus miles. So if you walk over 18, you're gaining mileage. But yeah, if we find a really cool spot over the next month and a half, we can stop and check out the city and see what's going on. But
that's very cool. Yeah, you're not doing this all the time with your watch going, okay, let's see.
No.
And where are you guys? Where are you guys at right now?
We are in Iuka, Mississippi.
So, and are you inside? Where are you inside at?
We're in an Airbnb actually in the downtown area.
Used to be a drugstore and then an art gallery
and then a hair salon.
And then, now it's an Airbnb. It's really cool.
And so one of our
Rhonda and Opal for helping us.
They hooked us up with this place, which was really, really kind of them.
Nice. That's awesome. I had to ask. I saw like a fridge in the background, and I was like,
we've got a lot of space. It's pretty nice in here.
Just that's the new tents that they're doing now.
Yeah.
Don't you know?
I'll be camping more often. Too funny.
You know, on the camping show, we have to ask weird off the wall questions like this. Well, that's just me. I guess that's me. So talking about this, okay, you're walking along and Mother Nature calls. How do you know, you're on the side of the road. What do you do? I mean,
are you talking about me? I'm assuming.
Either one of you. All four of you. Either one of you. You know?
I mean, I kind of know when it's going to happen, I guess. I don't know. It's no different than going to the bathroom. I just go on the side of the road. I guess.
Grace has been getting more and more risky as our trip progresses. Like at first she was really hesitant, had to have a real secure spot. And then it ended up the other day she was wrapped with the tarp and she's like, oh, this will work, and just squat on the side of the road. And then the other day
I had to go really bad.
The road, and she just 10 feet off the road. I'm like, are you serious right now? And there's cars driving by. She's like, I had to do it. Like just straight face. I'm like, wow.
That's the tarp.
Is that the tarp right there?
Yeah. It worked.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
I mean, and who's really going to know what's going on? Maybe somebody will, but I mean.
Well, here's the problem: is now so many people like are honking or know who we are walking down the road that. But whatever.
We'll have, hundreds of people a day honking their horn because they saw us on Facebook or something.
Oh, we probably have 25 people pull over a day. That's like our average.
Yeah. So
you know,
a little bit more careful.
Yeah, I did put celebrities in the promo for this show.
Oh, geez.
You guys are celebrities, man. And I doesn't. Who's the guy with the glasses? It wouldn't surprise me on the evening news. I can't think of his name. It wouldn't be surprising.
You got to narrow it down more than that.
He's got the Lester Holt. Lester Holt. If I see you on Lester Holt's show, I'm going to go, hey, man, they finally made that. That was very good.
Too funny. So you guys said you've got social media going for you and people stop and are helping get what you need. How do you stay connected with social media? Just through like your phone or?
Yeah, we have really, there hasn't been times we've really lost service, and I have Verizon and he has AT&T. So if one of us doesn't, the other normally does. Okay. And then we have a solar panel and a power bank, and then a little Verizon hotspot. And that's really been pretty good. I mean, there have been times where if we don't think we'll have service, we'll just say, hey, you might not hear from us, but we're alive, and we'll just get that to post and then post the rest of stuff later.
So you keep your phones charged through solar.
In our US, we have a little Goal Zero USB charger, and we can charge our phones like 7 or 8 times off of that. Yeah. So honestly, that usually lasts us. I mean, we'll camp, 3-4 days in a row, and then have a spot where we can plug in or something. So it can get us where we need to.
Okay, that's too cool.
I was just going to mention, say the brand name, and those guys, there's like an endorsement there I see happening down the road. It's like Goal zero kept us going, man.
They did. There's a picture
all
where
about-
Matt has the solar panel
Oh,
strapped
yeah.
to his back while we were walking down the interstate one time trying to get our phone to charge.
I was just going to ask you how you do
Those
that.
should be the commercials we see on TV. There's plenty
Yeah.
of ones that are like, what was that even for? Like, they need you
Yeah.
guys on there. Oh my gosh, that'd
Exactly.
be perfect.
Hey, you
Yep.
send the emails.
Yeah, right. Sounds good. So tell us a little bit about your walking companions, the canines. I gotta know.
Well,
a
we
little
have,
bit
you
about-
saw, we got little Monkey here. She's in her coat. She just got her hair cut, so she's cold.
That's
Oh.
cool.
But she's 8 years old. I've had her since I was
Wow.
in high school, and so she's been on all kinds of adventures with us.
And she doesn't walk. I mean, she'll walk a mile here and there if the roads allow us to do so, but she'll ride on the top of Timmy. She has a nice spot when the sun's shining. She can sunbathe and just really
Oh my
enjoy
gosh.
it.
She rolls
That's
over,
cool.
shows her belly.
And then, or the chest pouch when it's cold. And then Nemo, we found her in the Cedar Rapids National Forest about a month into our journey.
November 13th.
And so she's walked through Arizona, New Mexico, Panhandle of Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and now Mississippi.
She had
She
no
walks all
idea
the time.
what she
Yeah.
was getting herself into.
She really didn't.
That's
She loves it,
awesome.
though.
And she's like a senior citizen then in dog years. Am I right? That's
Which-
like what, 7, 8 years
For-
old, you said?
Oh,
The little
foxes.
one, yeah.
Yeah, the little, yeah.
Yeah.
We've been hearing, we've met a lot of people who have had teacup Yorkies, and I guess they live to 18 years old most of the time. So she's got a lot of life in her.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
like Moses, right?
heard that.
Yeah.
Can you,
That's
Roxy,
great.
can you put Tunis's question up there again? He just chimed in with a question.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
something
ask
about the
him.
feet. From 1 to 10, how bad do your feet hurt? And like, are there blisters?
No, we've done really well with our feet.
I will say now that, so we did dry heat and then it was cold, but now that we're in humidity, I've noticed that I'm starting to get more blisters, and I think it's just because my feet are, I don't know, more moist. I don't feel
Yeah.
like that's not the right word,
Sure.
but
Yeah.
it's just more like
I think
it's
that's
just all
it.
rubbing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes.
But yeah, I mean, and this isn't a sponsored ad deal, but we wore Hokas. That we were asking people around what were the best shoes for people who have walked across the United States, and we never heard of Hokas before. And we won't ever go back.
No, they're the best
We bought the
shoes.
same pair over and over again each time we exchange about
Okay.
500 miles. And I think that has a lot to do with our feet health.
Yeah, we haven't had any pains really.
And they break in right away too,
Yeah.
which is nice.
Oh,
Makes
that's
it
great.
makes a huge difference. And by the way, I see another endorsement. You want to spell that for us? I'm serious.
HOKA.
Hoka.
And,
Hoka.
and we use the ATR 6 Gore-Tex.
There you go.
Yep.
Bam.
Nice.
You know, the pair of shoes that you wear for things, and I'm telling you, even like last summer when I was doing a little portaging through the Boundary Waters, shoes make all the difference.
Oh yeah.
Big time. Big time.
Especially when you're walking 20 plus miles a day.
Right, every day. I
I
mean,
can't
Yeah.
even imagine that. Yeah, I can't imagine.
It's
that.
like our wheels to our car, pretty much. So you gotta
it
have
is.
good shoes.
it's a great way to look at it.
Absolutely, it is. All right, so here's the deal. Wait a minute. Oh, there you go.
I could
another
look
cool
at these
picture.
pictures all day. These are so cool. And I love the dogs in them with you guys.
Absolutely.
They didn't
Yeah.
like that day too much. They didn't like the photo shoot.
No, they
No.
wanted to go to bed.
They're like, what the heck? What's this about?
Now, no pun intended. Okay, and I mean that. When I wrote these questions, I didn't intend for this, but I thought I can see how people. So, walk us through a typical day on the road with Matt and Grace. Can you do that?
Well, I mean, every day kind of varies, but I would say the general would be we wake up at what, like 6?
6 or 6:30.
Right.
Whether we're tent camping or in a hotel or wherever, packing Timmy up, getting him organized, making sure we can fit our water and everything in there nicely. Sometimes we eat breakfast in the morning. Sometimes we don't. Again, it depends if there's a gas station for some breakfast sandwiches or whatever. So we get going about 7:30 or 8 every morning, and we start walking. And,
Yeah.
Every day's so different. I mean, we start walking, then people pull over, we talk to them. If we can find a lunch spot, we'll stop on a patio if they have one. If we can't, we'll fire up the jet boil and do a dehydrated meal if we have one.
we usually stop about every 5 or 6 miles, mainly for Nemo. Nemo's, she loves walking, but just to give everyone a break. Lately with the heat, she's had to adapt to it.
Yeah,
so we've
she's
been
shedding
stopping
a lot.
every 2-3 miles.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Just for more, she needs more water and stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
But and then we usually get done. Again, it depends what day it is, but usually get done about 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. Oh no. And that was under
Dogs
a
are
bridge.
too cute.
Yeah, that
under
was.
the bridge here.
Dinner for 2.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Nighttime. If we're staying at someone's house, we're really good about, even though a lot of our stuff is social media, we always put our phones down if we're at someone's house so we can have that experience. So we have the problem of not responding to a lot of messages on social media because one, we're walking, we got to take care of the dogs, got to take care of ourselves, but
You're so experienced it all.
and then going to bed. Usually go to bed at 10 or so, and then do it again the next day.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good example to set for people of your generation and even my generation, because this is like all the time, and it's just
it's bad.
Yeah.
Put the phones down, give people that time of day, show them that
it's respect. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And more so than respect, the best part of this whole experience, it hasn't been when we're going to get to the end and accomplishing that feat. It hasn't been this, that, or the other. It's been people and just meeting people and seeing that you're helping people and having cool, unique interactions. So it's important not to be, glued to your phone and just real life, person to person interaction.
Yeah, it is about the experience,
Yeah.
And absolutely. And you got to take that in when you get, because you know what, when you're an old dude like me, you're going to look back and go, okay, I spent a lot of time doing this, or I spent a lot of time really taking this all in, and you got great.
Yeah. Like we share everything, but our one thing since the beginning, that when we decided we were going to share all our stuff on social media, if it ever became too much or we're always on our phone, then no more, we're not doing it. So we've just been very cautious about, we post stuff and then we're off our phones.
It goes back to the time and place. For everything,
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, first of all, I want to say hi to Susan Gustafson. She chimed in. How you doing, Susan, down there in Florida?
Hey, Susan.
The other thing I wanted to ask was, I comment on rather, is I was going to ask you about, do you ever just not pull over? There's nothing, there is a card to pull over, but you ever pull over and just make a dehydrated meal? And you do that. You actually do. You get out and you cook jet oil. Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
So we always carry a few with us at a time. It's there's been times we've had a lot of them going through stretches where it's just gas.
Like that's what we asked for Christmas.
Yeah. That's what
Is that right?
But we always have a few of them just in case we're not able to find a lunch spot or something. It's good calories and
or ramen.
Pretty quick to do.
Although one time we did add ramen to one of our backpackers pantry, or no, it was a Mountain House meal. It was like the chicken fried rice, and we were so hungry, so we put ramen in it too. But that was way too much food for the middle of the day. We really struggled to keep walking, but a lot of calories if you're done for the day.
Right.
I'll bet. That's cool. That's very cool.
So with your social media communication with people, I imagine you get asked some of the same questions maybe over and over. What would you say is one question that you get asked the most?
There's a few. It's kind of a lot of stuff has to do with the dogs.
Making sure the dogs are okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of people and there's a lot of people who are concerned. A lot of people have thought that we don't take good care of the dogs, but these dogs are living the absolute best life they could ever live. We get asked a lot about our shoes. And then we get asked a lot about now it's which cities are you going to?
Yeah.
So we like to release our cities a day at a time. So yesterday we released our Alabama cities, and then once we get done with Alabama, we'll do our Georgia cities. That way it's not overwhelming on us when people are like, hey, I live here in Georgia. I want you to stay in my trailer. Here's my address. It's too hard to organize and think about. So those are the main ones right now.
Or what's next? That's a big one.
What's next?
Yeah, that is very cool that you guys do that. I'm amazed at, look at that picture. That's cool. do you get people just giving you your camera, go, hey, would you take a picture of us? I mean, that's all you got, right? Yeah, that's cool. That is so cool. I think it's great that people are reaching out to you and connecting with you. And it's kind of like a show we did several weeks ago, the River Angels. And do you have a name for these people that bring you in and say, hey, accommodate you? Do you have an angel kind of term for that? Or
Yeah, it's like trail angels.
Trail angels. There you go.
Trail magic. Sorry, you threw me off with the angel.
Hey, Lance, real quick before we go here, Lance Chapman, hey, from the UK again. Sorry if it's already been asked, but best place you've been?
Gosh,
there's every place is so different.
I really liked walking through the mountains in Arizona.
Those were awesome. That was our most dangerous stretch, but also the most rewarding. Getting to the top up there, we got up to like 7,700 feet elevation and could see the Tonto National Forest and the Sitgreaves National Forest. That was cool.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah.
That was the most like, wow, that feels good.
Great question.
Yeah. We've got another one, actually. Yeah, Kirk Michaels, he's asking, were you guys in shape when you started this journey? It had to be so hard in the beginning.
We already kind of like walked a lot and stuff. I don't know. We've just always liked to walk.
We always kind of worked out a couple times a week and tried to eat well and stuff like that. But really, I would say for most people, we got adapted quickly. About a week of walking 15 miles a day, you're a little bit sore and stuff, but after you get past a week mark of doing it, you feel pretty good and your body gets adjusted. Like now we can just wake up, go. And again, like Grace said, our 10 miles now is like our old 5-mile mark.
Yeah. We did get pretty lazy before we actually started the walk because at first we were kind of practicing. And then right before the walk, we thought, we're about to walk every day for the next however many months. So I don't want to do anything.
Right. I don't blame you. I might have done the exact same thing. I might stay in this bed a little longer today. That's too funny.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, we're going to take another short commercial break right now, but don't go away. We'll be right back with more of the Campin' Show on W4CY Radio and Talk 4 TV.
It is time to go camping. Introducing Campground Views virtual tours. You can tour the campground, see the sites, see if they are available, and click to book your perfect spot. Hit the open road and explore the amazing places found in nature. We make it easy to discover, find, and book your site so that you can go have the fun and freedom you seek. Campground Views virtual tours make it easy and simple for you to see where you are going.
And we're back with our guests, Matt Grooms and Grace Nesseth on the Camping Show.
Hello.
I just mentioned to Roxy, if she's got some more pictures, some more photos up there, we can show everybody a few more of those. You got some really great pictures. I mean, you really do.
Thanks.
Yeah. What are you using for a camera, if I could ask? Hey, here's another endorsement.
We brought our digital camera, but we honestly haven't really used it. So we've just been using the iPhone. All our YouTube videos, we do the DJI Pocket, not DJI, or DJI. DJI. We always say DJI. It's DJI. The little pocket thing is really nice, and then we have the GoPro.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So a variation of those.
Yeah, so we got a couple more pictures. Yeah, where's this at now? That's pretty cool.
That's the border of Arkansas and Tennessee.
That's a super cool walking bridge that I think they turned an old railroad track into a bridge that goes from West Memphis to Memphis.
Wow.
That was super cool. Yeah.
That is cool.
Looks like Nemo was trying to get away.
Yeah, Nemo doesn't like heights.
He was like, yeah, I'm good. Get me out of here.
Here's a couple stupid things. This is just me. First of all, I'm sure you have to wear suntan lotion out there, or sunscreen, I should say. That's first thing.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I mean, that's something you wouldn't even think about, but you're getting blasted with sun. I mean, like every day, as long as it's not raining.
I'm blonde and I burn so easy. I mean, I put it on so often, but I still get burnt.
Yeah.
He's not so bad.
I'll just tan. I tan pretty nicely actually, but it's good to put sunscreen on still.
Does that,
Yeah.
does that
Yeah.
ever create like animosity?
No.
What the heck? I'm so burnt and you're over here tan.
Right.
I did forget
you've
one.
You've made comments before.
Well, the other day I put sunscreen on my legs everywhere except I forgot right behind my knees, which is like the worst spot to forget, and I
Oh,
could
yeah.
barely bend my leg.
Oh,
It hurt
no.
so bad.
That's pretty
Ouch.
tender place. Well, here's
Yeah.
here's a guy question for you. Here, okay, wait a minute. That's a cool picture right here. I like that.
My brother
Yeah.
Chris took that while we were waiting for food to warm up.
That's great. He looks hungry there. He does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's a guy question for you. I mean, can we get a picture, Roxy, of the cart again up there, going down the road? When you're cruising down the road, I mean, you sometimes you run over things like that. These are air tires, I'm guessing, on this cart. Do you ever get a flat like there? There you go.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Our buddy Nick took that picture. That was a great pic. Well, we have, so the actual tire itself, we've had to trade out about I think we're on our 4th pair, and I think it'll get us all the way, but and then you just get those at Walmart like a regular mountain bike tire. But the tubes, we use slime tubes, and then we have a slime liner. So a slime liner, slime tubes. Honestly, we haven't had a flat in about
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood. There you go.
800 or 900 miles. It depends which stretch you're on. We had a couple stretches where we were getting flats like 2 or 3 a day.
Yeah, goat heads.
But for the most part, since getting to Texas, I don't know if we've had one.
No, and then our front tire is what's that called?
It's just like a composite. So the front tire can't pop or anything. It's like a foam rubber composite.
We
Solid.
both go like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. Yeah, I that's just something that came up, and I thought,
Yeah.
well, wait, because I have a cart we use for canoes, that's sort of the portage cart. And I'm thinking, well, those get flat tires, from Thorn. So we use the special inner tubes, the Thorn-proof inner tubes. But hey, I'll bet you run over stuff on the road. Working for the Department of Transportation, I've seen everything alongside the road.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we see a lot of stuff.
Oh my
And I
gosh!
can
I bet
Collected
you.
almost all license plates from the states we've gone through.
Oh,
yeah.
that's
Every single one
awesome.
so far.
Yeah, every state we've gone through. We had found Georgia forever ago, so now we just need to find Alabama and South Carolina.
Oh wow, that's that's great. Oh, you could have a collection of that, and you can put that on eBay and sell that when you're done. And
No,
yeah.
we'll keep them.
Yeah,
Well,
keep it.
Something.
Decorate
We walked
with it.
across America for
Right.
them.
Well, that's true. Yeah, you could have a whole wall designated to that. When you get,
Yeah, we thought about with our yellow vest, we're gonna put them in like almost a jersey frame whenever we get a house, whatever that is, and having a little walk across America wall.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I
That's
love that.
very cool. I got one more question for you here, and Jess has got one. But first, T-Boo says, what is the first place you went camping for the crossword puzzle?
Oh, one of our fans made us a crossword puzzle that was like a bunch of random things from what we've done on the trip. What was that one?
It's Fisherman's Retreat.
Yep. That was in
Okay.
California.
Yep.
Very good. Well, thank you for
Awesome.
chiming in with that question. Well, okay, my last question is this, and Jesse's got one. Is there any type of message that you hope to convey to everyone, along this journey?
Yeah, I mean, our big thing is like, one, we're just walking. There's a lot of other people out there who are doing way more difficult things in their life, and everyone's doing something different in their life, whether it's a job, whether it's, something that's going on. We want to convey, find love in the little things. No matter what you're doing, there's something small in your life, no matter how bad it might be right now, that you can find love in. And if you kind of attach yourself to those things, much more will come.
Yeah.
That's
Positivity.
wonderful. Yeah, that's wonderful. That's what we need right now. So where should listeners go to connect with you guys on social media?
So all our social media handles are the Golden Road with 2 G's.
Right there, it
Yeah.
looks like. Sam?
Okay.
There we go.
You guys are getting good. Put
You've
that
done
right
this
there.
before, haven't you? Yeah.
Awesome.
But yeah, everything's 2 G's. So we've had people email us before and we don't get it because they just do 1 G. It's 2 G's.
Yeah, and then for donation purposes, we do Venmo and all that. But the easiest way is timetobottle.org. There's a quick button to push. and you can donate to our cause. Again, we're sitting at like $38,000 raised so far, which is
Yay!
awesome.
Awesome.
And,
Very good.
Awesome.
we think we can keep getting a lot more. So yeah, if you guys can help, and if you can't, we have people who say, hey, I can't donate. We're happy to have you on the journey with us, and just spread the message what we're doing, and keep spreading joy. So
Wonderful.
That's
Oh, great.
excellent. Very nice. Very nice, guys. Well, listen, we're out of time, but we want to thank you, Matt and Grace, for being our guests tonight on the camping show. It was a pleasure. Absolutely.
Thank you for having
us.
us. We had
Having
so
you
much
with us.
fun.
Absolutely.
I'm glad there was no tornado warning.
Yes.
Yeah, me too. All of us. Absolutely. We're all above reason. All the reasons all above. Easy for me to say. Yeah. Well, we hope you'll tune in next for next week's episode, Camping USA, with special guest Mark Kep.
Once again, thank you for tuning into the Camping Show.
This is CW Getz
And Jesse Free.
reminding you, learn more,
Do more.
see you next week.
See ya.